we do a serious one.
Yeah.
So joining you live from the World Championship 2023 in Barcelona, the Living Legend podcast.
So hello everyone and welcome back to the Living Legends podcast, your weekly source of flesh and blood talkery. Flesh and blood glasses content. Let me get some characters. I mean, Prism got like a monocle. That's probably the closest. I do find it a little suspect though that they gave the one librarian character glasses. Building into the nerd glasses trope. I don't know.
James White, harmful stereotype.
Absolutely. Is Prism the only glasses wearer?
Oh, I was just looking it up because I had a feeling in the back of my head. There is at least one other hero that has glasses, you know what? We'll open this up because we're nice and early. We'll open this up to comments. Yeah. Before we even introduce ourselves, people, comment down below who, without looking, this is an honor system only, who is at least one of the other heroes. There may be other correct answers we'll be able to check in a second, but who is the other hero that wears glasses?
Holding my hands up so you can see that I'm not typing. I think I know who it is. I have a guess. And I think they're like tiny little spectacles, if my guess is correct.
Oh, if that might be a different person.
I might have two guesses, actually. I think there's one that's not actually on the official list that might have tiny spectacles as well.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll give the people a chance to comment. So let's. I've sort of taken this off the rails already. Let's get into our introductions.
Yes. I'm Kel, also known as Red Zone Rogue, and of course I am joined, as always, by my two most excellent co-hosts, Az and Bill. We usually do alphabetical, but we'll do reverse this time. Bill, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing well. I was mentioning to the folks, and the reason that we were talking about glasses is I actually just recently got myself a pair of new glasses. I put them somewhere. I've already lost them, which is hilarious. Yeah. But it wasn't even like moving. Where did I put them? Anyway, they're for the visual listeners. I'm wearing the same glasses that I usually wear, but the new ones that I got are silver rimmed. And with the light that I have, they reflect the light extremely well. And I felt like that would be distracting, even more distracting than normal. So I'm just wearing my old glasses. But yeah, I'm doing well. It's a good day outside. It's still nice and warm, even though it's October in Canada. But yeah, doing good.
Nice.
Yeah, October. I love it. It's my favorite month. Az, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm not bad. It's your birthday month, isn't it? Remember correctly? Halloween, baby.
Yeah, pretty close. October 20th is my birthday, so I just like this time of year in general, not just because of my birthday. Yeah, of course, my birthday is in this month, so that helps contribute. But I love autumn. I love this time of year. Everything kind of cools down. The trees change colors. And it's kind of like the beginning of the chillier months. I really love autumn and winter as my two favorites, and then spring and summer is my least favorite. But I really enjoy like the cooler months, and so this is kind of the start of it. And it was nice yesterday. Before I get too bogged down, I'll let you do your spiel. But yesterday we went out to the local Fred Meyer, which is kind of like this local grocery store. If you're familiar with Kroger, I think they're owned by Kroger or part of the Kroger family or something. And it's really nice. They've kind of like renovated this one. We haven't been to it in a while. And I was like looking through like the candy section for Halloween, which is why I bring this up. And I found, I'm gonna grab these. Look at this. Look how cool this is. I know this is this is a Flesh and Blood podcast. Yeah. I didn't know these existed, so I found this in the candy section. I'm holding up for the audio only folks. This is it's called a Trick or Trade Booster Bundle for the Pokemon TCG. And what this is, it's 35 mini packs of Pokemon cards. Each pack has 3 cards in it, and they're little cute like alternate art cards that have like a little Pikachu pumpkin head stamp to give out for trick-or-treaters instead of candy. And I'm like, that's brilliant. I love that. I love that so much. And these are not that expensive either. And they had a whole bunch of them. I think it's because I put them in the candy section and not like the toy and hobby section, because this stuff would be gone. So I picked up 2 of these, and I'm gonna be giving them to my patrons who have the mailed tier, because like 2 of these is $70. So anyway, so Halloween, I love this time of year. It's great.
Yeah. That pretty much goes into my intro and my spiel as well. It's starting to rain, and we're getting the back end of the California thunderstorm that was happening in the US. It's sort of traveled across the ocean now, and we're getting the back end of it. I believe, according to the weather lady this morning. But yeah, we're getting lots of thunderstorms and showers, and I like that sort of weather. I find it refreshing. So I love hearing the rain outside, and it's nice to go to sleep too, and all this white noise and that. So yeah,
I'm the kind of guy, if it's raining outside, I open the window.
Yeah,
I love hearing it, and the smell of the rain. I think Az and I both live in places that are known to be rainy. Both the UK and Oregon, like the Pacific Northwest, are known to be quite rainy. So
yeah,
it suits us, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, doing well. And obviously, we got a bit of news that surrounds my home country with regards to the world of Flesh and Blood, which we'll go into as one of the sort of main things. It's quite a slow news week again this week, so we're just going to be reading out some comments and just chilling out, really. And we're on a bit of a clock this week anyway, so it was timed fairly well in that regard. But you're going to hear us rambling anyway, regardless.
Yeah, we're on a bit of a clock because I got to go back to playing more Diablo 4 expansion with my partner.
Yeah.
I'm actually not joking. That's not the real reason. That's not the real reason, but Robin, TLDR, Robin got a new job, which is great. And she it actually pays a lot more than her previous job, and her previous job was pretty good as well. So it's very exciting time for us. We needed some good news, and we got some good news, so I'm very happy for that. I also have some other good news I'll share during my Arsenal step later. But anyway, my point is that she starts her new job in like a couple days, so we need to maximize our like time together that she doesn't have to work. So we're gonna we already played it a bunch, but we're gonna no life the D4 expansion even more. It's so far it's pretty good. So yeah, that's awesome. Dark. It's brutal, dude. Some of the cutscenes are rough. So yeah, it's good. Good stuff if you like that kind of stuff. Body horror.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out. I forgot that was coming out this week. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Playing the new Spiritborn. It's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we can dive into some comments first if you want to do that from last week's episode.
Just to sort of sandwich this in to promote retention. The hook that we had at the beginning, heroes who wear glasses. By my count, there are 6, although technically one of them is 3 of them. So, but yeah. So the one, what were you thinking of, Kel? Who was your maybe 1 or 2 guesses?
So, I know Cavdane wears eyewear to some degree, right? It might not be glasses, but does he have like a monocle or like a little scope thing?
Maybe, yeah.
It looks like he has just sort of like a robotic eye, which fits in with his robotic arm.
And then along that vein, I know Dash now has the scouter thing. Like Dash.io has like the sort of glasses scouter. And then the other one that I was thinking of was the Santa Claus, like Squizzy and Floof.
I've got it.
Okay, so your votes are Dash and a new Dash.io or Dash database, and Squizzy and Floof. As you had your hand up.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I promise. I've been looking at you guys because obviously I've been mesmerised by your new glasses, Bill. So I'm just looking deeply into your eyes and during this episode. But yeah, is it young Professor Teklovossen or just Teklo? Young Teklo.
So yes, specifically. So here I'll go over the half. You guys got the non-prism half of the other 3 heroes. So we have young Teklovossen specifically. Old Teklovossen wears contacts or got LASIK or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. Specifically, Dash.io and not Dash database has the Scouter, which is like a technicality. Like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Squizzy and Floof. Squizzy does wear glasses, little circular ones. And then young original Prism wears full-on eyeglasses. Prism, Sculptor of Arclight, has demoted to just a monocle. And then Prism Awakener of Soul also has a monocle, but Advent of Thrones does not. Just as your fun Flesh and Blood fact for the day. And then, of course, on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have Vincent, who does not have eyes. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Just
that's good.
The Patches O'Houlihan thing from Dodgeball.
Yeah.
If you ever seen that.
Does if we're getting into like corner case territory, does Blasmafet or Levia Blasmafet consumed or whatever have eyes at all as well? Is it just like a tentacle mass, like a big blob monster?
Yeah.
Plasma Levia might not even have a face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Unable to wear glasses at all.
Yeah.
Disqualified.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's our
But yeah,
Nice.
that's our off the
I'm glad I
rails.
got,
all I
I'm
got
glad I
there.
got Squizzy and Floof. That's the one I was thinking
Squizzy and
of.
Floof was a good one. That's a deep cut.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not even sure if that's on their official like hero list.
Don't think it is, no.
Yeah.
I
on
don't
the
think-
website.
Yeah, I just looked on Fabrary. I just looked up all the heroes. But yeah, that was a good one.
Nice.
Nice catch.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, speaking of like heroes and weird characters and stuff, I think this is a good comment to start with because Brill HW8 is saying with Worlds coming up, are you going to get a James White to record an updated intro for the podcast? So I am the only one going this year.
Yeah.
So I should be able to do that. I should be able to get it done. And the reason I sort of bring Worlds up is because Worlds is going to be, or the player reception is going to be on Halloween night as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So it's going. A lot of people are saying potentially there could be like a promo or another hero released on Halloween night as part of the player reception. Maybe a spooky hero like a necromancer or something. So I just thought I'd throw that out into the aether as well as a potential possibility of because there's always stuff revealed at player receptions, isn't there? So Halloween night seems like a nice little occasion to spoil something like that, maybe.
They have done like Halloween promos before. Not heroes, but they did
Yeah.
like those like lantern ones and that kind of stuff before. So
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, so yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna try my best to get a new intro. Ian says regarding the lore, personally, lore-wise, I'd love to see graphic novels. So that's something that we spoke about a lot last week. So that would be cool to see. And then we've got Bolton's Blade saying, I think PvE could be a really cool Avengers-style tie into the lore, sort of build up to the story up to its apex, essentially set up for a big bad like Thanos-like villain. Everybody loves Avengers, don't they? It's like when we spoke about War of the Spark as well. That was like an Avengers style thing with regards to all the heroes coming together. As always, enjoyed the podcast, fellas, and here's to Team Turd pooing all over the competition. Absolutely.
Big old dumpies.
Good old dumpies. But I think we're going to be speaking a little bit about the heroes and stuff that are quite prevalent at the moment, just as part of our Flesh and Blood conversation today. But there were a few people in Team Turd that did do quite well this last weekend with regards, because there's a lot of ProQuest going on at the moment. One of our most notable results this weekend was a top 8 person who was playing Viserai. So they went 5-0 to reach top 8 on a Viserai deck. So
Nice.
I think Runeblades are doing. They're eating quite well at the moment, as we'll see in the little pie chart, which I might be able to flash up in post production later on. So Link Masters Able. So this is Ian saying, to be fair, Bill, Connor only does things very loudly. So this is a reference to when I captured Connor teaching you how to play that deck on the Barcelona video. But that's the thing as well. So during London, so there's Pro Tour coming up London, which is going to come up very, very soon. I'm going to be staying with the Irish lot, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
That's going to be crazy.
That's going to be pretty crazy. One of the guys that was organising it, Kuba, who obviously came to our place at Barcelona as well, and we did the karate chop on his neck because his neck was so solid, wasn't it? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
What a bizarre thing.
He is such a bizarre human, but he's just absolutely hilarious and one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
It's so like college pilled. He's like, bro, chop my neck.
Bro,
Look how strong it is, bro. Bro, chop it. Just do it.
Literally, yeah. It was.
No, that was a great time.
It was so funny. But yeah, that just reminds me of that. Call Ash is saying, yo, talking about L5R, Legend of the Five Rings. The Emperor Edition Genpaku is one of the best starter box products ever released for a TCG, and is still available for a good price online for anyone that may be interested. So this is in reference to your comparison of L5R and Sunflower Samurai, coming from that background as well, right?
Corlash, yeah. So we mentioned it in my community Discord before, but I did a video talking about L5R, and then I did another video talking about what I think to be some of the best starters ever made, which are L5R starters. They did an incredible job. But basically, long story short, is they would release starter decks for every single faction all at once. So you'd have like 9 starter decks releasing at once, and every faction deck was super tailored to that faction. So you'd have like a little booklet telling you the lore of the clan specifically, in addition to a booklet on how to play, and then you'd have a full deck, and it was fantastic. And they were like a good price. They'd come in these little metal tins. Well, sometimes they came in metal tins, sometimes they didn't. And I did a video going over this, and I did open up the Emperor Edition Genpaku, and a couple other ones. I have another sealed one as well. But yeah, they mentioned it in the Discord, and I mentioned, oh, I did a video on it. He's like, oh yeah, that's where I got the idea to buy it, because you can still buy a lot of original L5R CCG stuff for very, very cheap, because it got rebooted by Fantasy Flight Games into an LCG, and for whatever reason, a lot of people don't want to collect the old CCG, and it didn't spike like a lot of the old random TCGs did, during the COVID pandemic. So it's still very cheap and very affordable if you want to go buy old sealed product for a game that's actually very cool. Yeah. I think like, imagine, man, and I rag on Flesh and Blood starters a lot, but imagine if they did something similar where it's like, all right, here's our starter kit for the year, and it's one of every single class, and in that it's like you get starter for every single class, and then you have like a little booklet that tells you about the lore of the class, maybe some prolific heroes from the class, and like, oh, this is the legend of Dorinthia, this is the story of Bolton or whatever, or Olympia, and it's like, these are the different flavors, and then it has like an actual like how to play booklet inside, and then the full deck, like a full CC deck. That's exactly what these were, but if, for a faction instead of a class. How awesome would that be? And each of them comes with their own unique little deck box, like a metal deck box that you can take with you, and other games have done it before.
Really sick.
Yeah,
and it's been awesome. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how Fab potentially try and imitate products that already exist with what other games try to do or are doing. So it's going to be interesting to see like what they try and imitate or maybe take hints from. I'm not really clued up on what's happening on every sort of TCG front, but I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're watching out as to what they're doing and how they're sort of imitating or taking influence from other things. Florgness is saying, I've been thinking about the potential of the cleric class and what it could do instead of life gain. So obviously this is based on the Count Your Blessings conversation that's going around at the moment and is still going around. Right now I'm thinking it could do with blessing / enchantments that either sit in the field to buff a future attack, or maybe attach to your weapon to buff it for a few attacks. So we have seen this to a certain degree in a subset of Guardian cards, actually, because there's like Aura Guardian, floats around quite a bit, but it's just, I don't think it's playable. It's like the Towering Titan card and the other auras that buff your next attack. Guardian has quite a few of those, I think.
Yeah, it would be, the thing that sucks about it is it's kind of slow on two fronts. As much as I love, like, I forget what I think it's Towering Titan. Yeah. It's like a 9 cost that buffs that breaks at the start of your turn. And then gives your next Guardian attack like +10 or something. Like it's crazy and it's amazing. Yeah. But you really want to see it like your first turn of the game, and you really don't want to see it the remainder of the game.
Yeah.
So it would be cool if you could if either you could search them up easier, or if there was a secondary card, you could make it like an A+B combo to make it break on the same turn, have it be like effective for an immediate attack instead of having to wait around.
Yeah.
But yeah, as much as I love those blessings and all those the guardian auras, I think there was a cycle of auras that do pretty much kind of the same thing for each other class, and they were all pretty medium to bad. But yeah, I think it's mostly that they're just like kind of slow, which is again sad.
Yeah, life game's hard to design around, isn't it? As we are seeing, and a lot of people have had the same sort of gripe, is that you're not really interacting or what have you. But yeah, it's always a hard thing to design around. I don't know how you can really how you would tackle the cleric class, I guess.
Yep, it's always been my biggest concern. Every time I bring it up, I always say the same thing. I'm always like, I don't think life gain in Flesh and Blood would be a good way to go about it, and I don't think it'd be very fun. Watch videos from like a year or so ago when we were talking about it. I literally said the same thing, and then turns out, the life gain not fun in Flesh and Blood when so like, without getting too much into it, I was just thinking like, in order to do damage in Flesh and Blood, right, you kind of have to line things up right. You have to get the right attacks. You have to get your opponent to not block the way you do. Maybe you have to do some reactions or whatever, and you do some little bit of chip damage and maybe a little bit of on hits. And to flip that around and just be like, I gain 6 life. It just undoes all of it in just one thing. Just like, boom, I gained 6 life. Now all your crap is undone, essentially. Feels not great. So.
I don't
know.
You touched on
maybe
it.
Maybe it's more of a prevention thing. Instead of life gain, maybe instead of like blocking and raw blocking, maybe they focus more on damage prevention and that kind of thing. They've already toyed around with it, like with ward. Maybe they do something different, some sort of different variation of it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a hard one because, like you said last time, Bill, it's like in Magic, because you're establishing permanence on the board. They're constant attackers. Like that's why life gain doesn't really mean as much, because you've always got a threat on board that you don't have to expend cards from your deck to play against or to use against your opponent. It's
like extra. So for Magic, it's like, after playing a lot of other TCGs, especially Japanese trading card games where you can have targeted attacks, I think permanents in Magic are like very strong. So like, I think about like Goblin Guide, right? 1-drop, 2/2 has an attack that your opponent can maybe get a land off the top of the deck or whatever. But the problem with that is that they have a 2/2, and the only way to kill their 2/2 is to either have them do a bad attack where you block and trade in combat, or you have to have a specific card in your hand that says kill this creature or deal damage to this creature. Whereas in a lot of Japanese card games, you can target attack. Like you can have your dude specifically attack their dude. Like Yu-Gi-Oh is obviously the oldest example, but there's like every like Shadowverse, Grand Archive, like all of the games can do this, but not in Magic. And that makes aggro decks in Magic and permanents in Magic very, very strong. And even in Flesh and Blood, right? All the permanents in Flesh and Blood could be directly attacked. So it makes it so like for Magic it's very, very good. I don't know what my point was with this, but permanents in Magic are very strong.
And then in Flesh and Blood as well, like permanents in play coupled with life gain is just a pretty insane combo. Which is obviously what Enigma is doing. I mean,
permanents kind of break the game, to be honest. Like they fundamentally break how like resources and attacking and stuff works, and because for every other class it's like cards in hand are your attacks, including your weapon. I don't know. I don't know.
But we're still yet to see whether cleric will be a thing that appears in competitive 1v1 or whether it's just going to be a PvE gimmick. We will see. If it's a PvE gimmick and it's like heal another hero, I think it'd be really interesting and really good. So you can't heal yourself; you can only heal other heroes. I think that could be cool in like a PvE type setting. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Kind of like the idea, as sort of mentioned it kind of offhandedly, but the idea of like buffing your weapon is randomly like a really cool idea to be like, I mean, we already have the verbiage for it with the other cards that we've mentioned, but like a blessing, like you are applying a blessing to your weapon, kind of like in D&D, where it's like, you could like kind of do a Teklevossen thing. You could like upgrade your weapon or something by casting spells on it.
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. I think it'd be really cool if they did it in a way that's not the same as like Warrior or Runeblade, where it's like your next weapon attack gets +3 or whatever. Like to have like some sort of pseudo permanent blessing would be super cool. Like you mentioned, like exactly, like kind of like the upgrading it like Teklo does or whatever. I think that'd be really cool.
I like how we're sort of adding more and more, like Magic references and other card game references. as weeks get slower, we just try and ham fist other mechanics in there from other games. But I want to mention something from probably about the time I stopped playing Magic as much, and that was Ikoria, Lair of the Behemoths.
Oh no! You're gonna
mutate your weapon. That's right.
Oh no! I don't know if you want to take that mechanic.
No, I'll be
out of all the mechanics in Magic's 30 years of history, I'm not sure if that's the one you want to take.
Oh, it's brilliant. There's loads of support out there for it.
So I do love where your head's at, and I do love mutate. But I will say, as somebody who has played Magic for a long time, mutate at this point is the only mechanic where even to this day, if somebody's like, okay, I'm going to mutate, or if I'm like, okay, I'm going to mutate this, I have to look up the rulings of what that means.
Oh god, yeah. It's brilliant.
I'm like, okay, so you get one part's on top, and you get specific things from that, and then the bottom is pants, and you get like whatever. It's like I do like it still.
There's also other weird rulings for like removing the creature or bouncing it and flickering. There's like, but mutates. I don't know, man. I don't know.
And then
I
still like where Az's head's at here.
Yeah, exactly.
You mutate the weapon.
And then you mutate the weapon, yeah. So you have to take time casting enchantments onto your weapon, but then your weapon will then have things that just say your weapon gets +1, or your weapon gets this, your weapon gets when it hits, gain a life or whatever. You're basically buffing up your weapon so that whenever you hit with it, then you're then getting extra things.
Okay. You know what this reminds me of? Or this is what I'm thinking of when I hear this, and I imagine seeing this cleric and like in the flavor of the game, being like they have their hammer or something, and they're like woo, and then the next one they're like woo, and the next one they're like woo, and then Indiana Jones just pulls out his gun and shoots them, and they die. Like that's what I'm picturing. In this context, it'd be like a guardian just punches them in the face.
There's a brilliant clip on a very old film called Wild Wild West, which has Will Smith in it. And there's this moment where he's in the tarantula, the big metal tarantula at the end. There's like a big fight, like big battle at the end, and then there's this one baddie comes out of the woodwork and starts like messing around with all these knives like this, like doing all these fancy moves and stuff as they're going towards Will Smith, and then Will Smith just spades him in the face, and he just falls to the ground. It just reminds me of that. It's just like, you can do all this fancy stuff. I'm just going to hit you in the face with a spade. Down you go.
Yeah, it's the Indiana Jones theme, or the scene with the guy with the sword, and he's all just doing the fancy sword things.
Oh, maybe that's what it's a play on then. Maybe it's a play on that.
Yeah. This guy pulls out a sword and he does all this fancy sword stuff. And then Indiana Jones just looks at him and takes out his gun and shoots him, and then he just goes on. And I really like that scene in particular, because if you go into like the behind the scenes, is they were supposed to do a big sword fight, and I think it was Harrison Ford who suggested, he said, "Why don't I just shoot him?" And then they're like, "Okay." And
I think that's. From what I remember hearing is that they were supposed to do it, but Harrison Ford had like contracted dysentery because they were filming abroad.
Okay.
So he was like, I can't be on set for this long without like needing to go to the bathroom insanely badly. So like, can we just like cut this down for now? And I don't know how accurate that is. Feel free to fact check me in the comments, because I'm not looking it up right now. But which one of us is correct? Which one's the real behind the scenes?
I think I got the overall flavor, right? Because it's
it's just like
he suggested to not do it and just shoot him instead. But that's like a classic, like a great classic scene that like because of the whatever the circumstance, like it helped flavor the character very, very well.
Yeah.
It's that
He's
kind
like,
of
I
stuff
don't got
think
time
is
for
really
this.
cool. He's like, why would I bother? He literally has a gun and they just shoots him. Yeah. Anyway,
Cool.
back to
Pure deep cuts.
back to Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
Love it. And then the a couple more comments here. My brother's deck is saying Red Zone. If you like board games, then you should try Kingdom Death Monster. Don't let the price point scare you off, though.
It's very expensive. I did look into it. I commented on it, and I did look into it. So if you're listening to this, I did take your suggestion into account. The game looks rad as hell. It's really gross. It has a lot of like gross body monster horror things. With like really, really gross. Not just like, ooh, it's scary. There's some. I don't want to say it, but because it's disgusting.
Style, almost.
No, worse than that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's like worse than Silent Hill stuff. I'll just say that. Yeah. But it looks really cool. It does have a single player mode. The big turnoff for me, one, is the price. It is insanely expensive. I think the base set's like $400 something, like US dollars.
Yeah.
And then it's all like build your own sprue kind of deal, like a Warhammer thing. And I'm like, no, dude, I haven't even built my Skaventide set. I can't build another thing and drop $400 on it. If I had infinite money and time, yes, that's something I would be interested in. But I don't have either, so yeah. Hey, if anyone has a suggestion for that kind of game, but all of the minis are pre-made, let me know, and then we talk a little bit more. Like the D&D has some board games like the Legend of Drizzt and the Wrath of Ashardalon. They have the pre-made minis.
Yeah, I've got all those ones. They got Temple of Elemental Evil. They got the Jungles of something. I can't remember what it's called now. There's loads
it's
out
probably Chult.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Chult is the
Temple of
D&D
Chult,
jungle,
maybe something like that. But yeah, that's what I mean. All those have great minis in them. Wrath of Ashardalon had like the big dragon in it. Legend of Drizzt had the Balrog mini in it. Not painted, but decent still.
Just like solid color. Yeah, I have the only one I have is the Legend of Drizzt one. But they're really cool because you can play them solo too. You can play with buddies or you can play solo. They're really, really cool things.
They are good.
Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, so more on that on the Arsenal step, which because I've discovered something recently, which I have not known about until now. Well, I've known about it, but I haven't downloaded it anyway. Lastly, on the comments here, Hamman215 says, "I think it's a good ban, but did my chance to get to play it." So that's in reference to the ban of Kraken's Aether Vein.
I don't think it's a hard ban to argue against. I think when you see someone dealing like 20 damage and drawing 20 cards, it's kind of insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep your comments and stuff coming in to the Living Legends podcast on YouTube. So we are on YouTube now. For all the audio listeners who haven't subscribed yet, please go over there and do that when you can. We'll continue to read your comments off, especially when it's slow news weeks like this. Your comments really do help sort of front load the episode with random nonsense that we riff off of for at least half an hour. So that's good.
Yeah, that definitely helps. Definitely helps fill the time. As for like the topics today, as already mentioned, one of them. That's really the only news, to be honest, right now, other than like all of the random tournaments that are kind of just going on right now. It's just the announcement of Pro Tour London. Yeah. So we got a little teaser that the Pro Tour was going to be in Europe. There was a lot of speculation here and there. I was thinking France, but that's pretty close. London's actually pretty close. So Pro Tour London. As the resident British person, how do you feel about PT London?
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be interesting to see the world descend upon the United Kingdom. So I think it was always going to be a location for something like this, right? There's a lot of history, especially where the event is being held. I think there's a lot of history for other events like that, like Magic and other things like Pro Tours and stuff. I can't remember precisely.
What's the actual? Okay.
It's on the article somewhere, but I can't remember precisely without looking at it. But I will be going. I thought it was going to be in. I thought the Pro Tour was going to be in Swindon, but unfortunately, it wasn't. It wasn't to be. But Swindon is only literally a 50-minute train journey away from the centre of London. So if you do want to visit the shit heap that is my hometown, you can by all means do that.
See, when I thought it was Swindon, I was like, hell yeah, man, I'm going. Then I saw London, and I'm like, I'm out.
Exactly.
Trash out. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So it should be good fun. London, there's lot to do there, lot to see there. Loads of cultures there. You can find anything there that you want. Camden's fun. There's loads of people going to be descending on it, and a lot of people now are. I think they've changed the whole PQ season now to be called PQ London, ProQuest London. So like, you know, all the season now is the ticket to the next Pro Tour event, which is going to be this. So they've named all the events PQ London, etc. Because I'm actually going to be streaming a PQ at my mate's game shop in a few weeks, and I've noticed that his advert for it on the FABTCG website has also changed to PQ London as well. So
at Big Boss Book Club.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm going to be streaming a PQ in a few weeks. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, because there's no internet, so I have to basically tether it off of my my phone connection. But it does have.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I have checked, and there is 5G available in the area, so it should be okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I'm going to give it a go nonetheless. But yeah, I can't wait. I will definitely be there. I mentioned this earlier as well. I'm going to be staying with the Irish lot. So yeah, they're always good fun. Yeah, absolutely. So Kel was on the camera for the audio listeners there. He was pretending to drink out of a bottle of some description.
Well, I would like to drink, but it's like gone.
What bottle is that supposed to be?
Ooh.
Oh, a little bit. Oh, this is just it's just root beer.
Oh, I see.
But,
nice.
Yeah, it's a little early to drink the beer and stuff. Though I did pick up a really nice one recently that I'm looking forward to trying out later.
Oh, okay. What's that then?
It's like I've been really into ever since my second trip to Japan. I randomly got a grapefruit beer from Asahi, and I'm not a huge fan of grapefruit in general, but the beer is so fucking good, man. And I just really wanted to get more, and so I've been trying more grapefruit beers in the U.S. and I found some local ones that have been pretty good. So I don't remember the name of the brewery or the brand or whatever, but I got a local grapefruit beer that I'm gonna be trying out. I think it seems really good. So it looks really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've just researched the venue, just looking on the thing here, and it's at the XL London. So yeah, there's loads of big conventions at the XL, and that's on April the 10th to the 13th next year. So it's on the London Docklands. It says hosted several prolific industry events of the past. So so yeah, should be good. But yeah, that's the major news, isn't it, this week? Apart from obviously the I guess the heroes that are really sort of dominating events that are being played up to the lead of this. So the main three that are sort of in the contention at the moment are Enigma, Aurora, and Azalea. So Aurora's first as represented deck. Then we got Enigma and Azalea, which I think they all sort of. It's that triangle again, because you got Enigma, which I imagine would fail to Aurora because of the split damage and more of an aggro focus. Then you've got Azalea, who could prey on the aggro deck, which is Aurora. Yeah. And then Enigma beats Azalea because of the fact that it's hard to sometimes get through that ward, although Ranger does have like the Murkmire grapnels. There's a nice bit of tech for it. But yeah, I think it's also like quite nicely.
Enigma's also really good against Azalea just because she doesn't care about action points as much. A lot of her stuff is instant speed, so if they do a big red in the ledger, just like whatever, man. I just do my stuff at instant speed anyway.
Yeah. Or you just swing with your big value illusionist weapon that you've already established, and then just carry on the game. And again,
it's like what's a ranger going to do to a bunch of ward permanents? Like use an arrow on one Get out of here.
Yeah.
The Merkmeyer helps a lot, but
Yeah.
other than that,
So
you cry, I guess.
that is that's probably your only tool really against Enigma. Obviously, you got Azalea's got quite a lot of damage output these days. Blood Rots are also quite good at the moment because they can they crack at the end of the turn and then deal damage, which means that's going to pop your ward. So a lot of Codex of Blood Rots are popping into people's lists. A card that you've been on, for absolutely ages. You've loved it since the beginning.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite one.
Yeah,
My favorite one. I like it.
just happens to be very good into Illusionist because obviously it pops ward because it's actual damage being dealt from the Blood Rot. So or the Blood Root in the Azalea Armory deck. Did you know that? In the Azalea Armory deck,
What?
it was called in the Azalea Armory deck.
Blood
There was a typo. Instead of laced with Blood Rot, it was laced with Blood Root instead.
Okay, sure. Thanks for the Blood Root.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see if someone didn't know, like Flesh and Blood, if they're like editing it, they're like, sure, Blood Root.
Blood Root.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a word. Sure.
I mean,
I do want to mention some. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, just going off of that quickly, I spoiled the Azalea Armory deck. I was given all of the assets before anybody else, and I still didn't notice that it was called Lace of Bloodroot. I completely missed it.
Does it say it everywhere on the card, or is it only in the title? Does it say it like on the text too?
I don't think it says blood root pox. I think it says blood rot pox still.
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Just Bloodroot.
Okay.
Which I just thought was funny. But what was you going to say?
Well, I was going to mention something that I talked about when Part the Mistvale came out, and I think we're on track. To be honest, I think we're actually just on track. And I said that I think Part the Mistvale is the new Tales of Aria. I don't think Rosetta is the new Tales of Aria, even though it's set in Aria. And what I mean by that is in terms of heroes and power level. And as we have seen, every single hero from Tales of Aria has hit Living Legend because at one point in time, they've all been busted to hell. And I think that is the case with Part the Mistvale. I think every single one of the heroes will eventually hit Living Legend and will be busted and disgusting in some meta. We already saw Zen. We already saw Zen be absolutely disgusting and warrant multiple bans just to tone him back. If he didn't, he would have hit Living Legend quite easily. And now we're seeing Enigma, not as bad, obviously, but still like very strong and oppressive to a certain degree. And I think New is powerful enough, and everyone, puts New pretty highly on all their tier lists and whatever, that New will eventually be the menace at some point. I really do think Tales of Aria, or the Part of the Mistvale, is the modern Tales of Aria.
Yeah, well, I think, you're not wrong at all. Yeah, New was 4th on the pie chart. There you go. There's an article out there at the moment saying metagame minute, so the ProQuest London stuff, and there's a graphic up there, and I think New is 4th on there, so that definitely makes sense because she can target a lot of things, right? She can pick apart people's hands. She can really do a lot of things to a lot of heroes, which is good.
Yeah. The only thing that makes her not super insane, and this is going to sound nuts, is that she just doesn't do as much damage as someone like Zen, who's just does disgusting amounts. But she does a lot of like controlling things, like you mentioned, hand attack, and some disruption and that kind of stuff. And if Assassin ever gets like a nice little damage boost for whatever reason, if it gets a little bit, I think New would be insane. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that just transcending is maybe too good. I don't even think I have to say maybe. I think that transcending is too good.
I remember our reaction, or like, you flip it over and then it comes back to your hand. Like that was my reaction. I'm like, you get it back? What the hell?
Yeah.
Like why?
So it's like you do all this stuff and then you draw a blue. That's like literally what it is. It's like, and then you draw a blue card that has a special kind of resource that activates your busted hero ability or whatever. That lets you go tutor for a combo card and gives you a tiger or whatever. So, and then you have your stupid hat that can go search for one. But this is for Zen in particular, but I guess all the other heroes can use it too. But for New, you definitely want to use the Recurring Nightmare one for the most part.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, Mask of Recurring Nightmare is just messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, hey, banish a card from your hand.
It's an aggressive scowling flesh bag.
Yeah, you can use it multiple times too. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah,
Yeah.
Rosetta is not the new Tales of Aria. Partha Misfil is the new Tales of Aria.
No, I mean we've got 4 heroes in Rosetta. Obviously the biggest winner out of that is Aurora, because she's just an aggro deck which does have game into Illusionist because of the multiple ping damage that she can do from things like Arc Lightning and Flicker Wisp and stuff like that. So she's just geared as being a very, very good aggro deck, but can also deal with what people are saying is the best deck at the moment, and that's Enigma. With the split damage, and that's why Viserai also is a big winner at the moment, because there's been a few team turds as well. I'm going to shout out Chris Bishop from Canada, actually, was 5-0 on the Viserai deck that he played in his event, and didn't get all the way to win, but still it just goes to show that Viserai is obviously picking up some good stuff at the moment. And Viserai also has that same sort of strategy as well, where you can deal a lot of different types of damage, which is good into Enigma. Also, I feel that's why they're getting good results at the moment, because Enigma's the one that's most represented. Do you reckon you agree with that? With the rune chants and the ping damage and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll see more Runeblade stuff going further too. Like the set just came out, and we'll see more refinement and that kind of stuff. I'd be surprised if Florian didn't make a good appearance at some point, as well. I think Florian has the potential to be very, very strong. So, and very much the same way as that Viserai is, to be completely honest. Because, honestly, when you think about it, what does Viserai have that Florian doesn't? The hero ability, which is relevant. You get your hero ability a little bit earlier. You get it immediately, where Florian has to kind of build up to it, especially in CC, and then you have the specializations, which are people running Arcanite Ascendancy? I haven't looked at the list, but I know they weren't before.
I'm not sure actually.
And then there's Become the Arcanite as well, which probably that one's really good. The one that lets you tutor.
Yeah,
it's really good.
But the other one, even though it's one of my favorite cards, I noticed a lot of people weren't running it when they were running Viserai before, just because.
Ascendancy?
Yeah, the one that's it's a 6 cost reduction by rune chance, 5 attack dominate, and then the damage that it deals basically generates that many rune chance.
Yeah.
And you used to use it in the pump, the Viserai pump deck. So what you do is you'd build a bunch of rune chance, and then you do a Bloodsheath Skeleton kind of play, where you'd make your next non-attack free. So you do Slogism to give it +6, and then you attack with it. So it's 11 dominate plus 20 something rune chance, and then it'll do more damage based on the rune chance that it does. And yeah, it was fun. Good times. Good. I played a lot of Viserai early on. Good stuff.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Shout out to Hank as well, who the league that means nothing is actually wrapping up very, very soon. So the top 8 games are going to be released soon. So I'll shout that out as well, because that's going to be coming to an end soon. But Hank is in the top 8, and he's playing a Viserai deck. And we've seen him on various other League That Means Nothing televised games play the Slogisms and then come in with those Arknights. So still showcasing the old school power.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I still don't know what on earth the Slogism art is or what it's supposed to be, but it's nice. It's an abstract classic.
There's it's Quicken and Slogism are just abstract depictions of the concept of being slow or being fast. Is kind of what I gathered from it. It's old magic.
Basically,
it's old magic art, alpha magic art. Some of it's I don't know. I guess this is something.
Stasis. There's a clown and a fox man.
I love Stasis, and by I love Stasis, I mean I hate Stasis. That card can go to hell. But the art is really funny.
It is funny, yeah.
It looks like it's made out of cardboard too. It's a cardboard mosaic or something. Yeah, good one.
It'll be interesting to see where the heroes turn out, and what people bring to the Pro Tour the next year. Obviously, a lot can change between now and then. With regards to the Runeblades, you have to think of what sets them apart from each other, because Aurora is obviously a lot of a lot of damage, but also a lot of hybrid damage. Viserai can be a little bit of...
She's New Briar, or Aurora's
yeah.
New Briar, basically.
Yeah.
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 She's faster, I think, as well than Viserai. I think Viserai is more of like, well, Hank calls it turtle burst. So you can... I don't know whether that's the kind of decks that are, you know, are doing well at the moment. But then there's also the Florian as well, which is more of that mid-range, you know, get your Decompose online, then you can start hitting people with the Felling of the Crowns and the Command and Compost, which are very good forced interactive cards, but maybe a little bit too slow.
So I haven't been looking at the lists at all, like I mentioned, but I wonder if there's some sort of Viserai quote turtle burst deck where you could use the life gain card that everyone hates. So you can just just make a billion rune chants and just count your blessings a whole bunch to keep yourself out of lethal range, and then just kind of
that's gross.
womp them with 50 rune chants or something.
Do you know what the funny thing is though? There's discussions at the moment saying, can this hero be a CYB deck? Can it be a CYB deck? So what that means is people are just considering any hero as, can it run a Count Your Blessings? Can it be a Count Your Blessings archetype hero?
Yeah, can it just include the package?
Can it include the package?
That's crazy.
I feel
not good place.
Just strategically thinking about it, just in terms of just strategy in general, it makes sense to have it in a deck that wants to make the game go as long as possible and that has inevitability. Yeah. And I feel like the Rune Chant Burst deck has that.
Maybe.
That's what it does. So then pack in all your nice D-reacts, pack in some sigils, all of the Rune Chant generation, your read the runes plus your new ones plus your Mordred Tides. And then what else would you put in? You'd put in stuff like definitely the Rune Chant D-reacts, right? The reduced to Rune Chant for sure.
Yeah,
at least the red ones.
The other D-React, which was actually used in an Aurora game at the Calling in Leon, which I managed to catch a lot of, was the Sigil of Suffering, the one that pings you for 1 when you use it.
Yeah.
Because that can also pop wards and pop illusionist things, so that's also quite good.
It could be. Yeah, it could be tough into the illusionist matchup if they have a lot of aura, or a lot of wards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the use that you want to use it so that you can play it on your turn and then force the 1 damage so it pings the ward away basically, so it doesn't get too overwhelming. But okay. You basically need damage without doing attacks because you don't want to pop your rune chance. Yeah, but Runeblade's getting a lot of cool stuff. It's nice to see them back because obviously they were missing for so long, weren't they? For a while there.
Runeblades were right now. For the longest time. Runeblades were the meme of Flesh and Blood. They were the best class in the game for so long.
I don't even know that it necessarily that they stopped being the best. I think they stopped being the best class because they all Living Legended out.
Yeah,
they just stopped being playable.
Except for Vincent, which was kind of like a,
Yeah. But but now, and it's been a while since we've gotten to shout out, or that I've just decided to shout out Zen State Fab, my good buddy Jay, which, by the way, if you're listening to this on the Wednesday, I think you said you're behind. If you're listening to this Wednesday, October 11th, I will be climbing tonight. Because I haven't for 2.5 weeks because I've just been very delinquent. But yeah, he's been saying, I was chatting to him, I was chatting with him a little while ago, not just talking at him. I was talking with him a little while ago about the current state of Vincent and just the sheer number of insane playable Majestics that Runeblade got in Rosetta. And he was like, I am tempted to say, and I don't believe this is copium, that Vincent is A tier right now. The cards that she got are just insane. Let's be real for a second. So yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all. I think that's pretty reasonable to say. I don't know if the results have necessarily caught up quite yet, but I mean, Vincent does have a very dedicated, devoted fan base. Thanks in no small part to Jay and his. He's even set up the Zen State Discord where you can chat about Vincent. There's 6 different channels about Vincent. But
I mean,
but yeah,
it's one
so
of
I
those-
think even with the meme Runeblade being bad, I think that even she's getting pretty good now. So
Yeah. All you have to do is look at what the main meta are playing, and then look at Vincett's hero text and be like, okay, this destroys all ward at any time. So
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So it's pretty good. Yeah, exactly. So it has that
like,
ability to tear through prisms and enigmas with the ward situation if they can't prevent it. So yeah, pretty good stuff. So it'd be interesting to see that character's development as well going forward.
definitely.
Yeah. And with that said, I do believe we are going to be wrapping up the show here shortly. Do we have anything else we want to say on that topic, or should we jump straight into the Arsenal step? I know Az and I both have something we want to talk about. Mine's pretty short.
Same.
But if we have anything else, we can go to that real quick.
Yeah. I don't really have anything, although I did, after somehow misplacing them while not moving at all, I found my glasses. So for the remainder, for the Arsenal step, for YouTube folks, I'm going to put on my new glasses so you can see exactly what I was talking about. Look how shiny.
Shiny.
My glasses are essentially cold foil.
Yeah, I was gonna say old glasses, non-foil, new glasses, foil.
glasses. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, hell yeah,
Brilliant.
brother.
Someone's got to make
Bill's
that happen
glasses, cold foil. Yeah, making equipment. Bill's glasses, cold foil.
now. Yeah. Wow. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nice. Okay.
other than that, I don't really have anything for my Arsenal steps. So let's pitch it over to you guys.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. Well, I'll do mine real quick. So I posted about it on my social media today. And I basically just woke up to a really, really cool surprise. The other day, I made a video about the newly announced Gundam card game by Bandai. And for those who don't know, I cover a lot of TCGs over on Red Zone Rogue. Almost all of them anime TCGs with the focus on games like Shadowverse and Grand Archive. But I'm a lifelong anime fan, anime manga fan, and as any anime enjoyer in the United States growing up, you probably watched Mobile Suit Gundam Wing on Toonami, which is something that I grew up with. So I do like Gundam. I don't own any Gunpla, but my brother owns multiple, and I do have at least one anime figure in the background that is from Gundam. So anyway, I made a video about the new Gundam game. I'm pretty excited about it in general, but I'm also pretty wary. It's another Bandai game. They're kind of speedrunning themselves to 10 TCGs, which is a lot. And they've had issues with availability on launch, to say the least. I was someone who was trying to get into Digimon when it came out, and there was a lot of availability issues and scalping. We saw the same thing with One Piece early on, and so I have some concerns about this new game, but I'm pretty excited about it. All original art, kind of an easy and cool system. I dig it. And so what I'm getting around to is that I made that video the other day, and then I woke up this morning to some announcements on Twitter from the official Gundam TCG account. And one of them was my buddy Eric Doa, who is a shoutcaster and a friend of mine. He tweeted and he's like, "Oh, I got invited to the world premiere for the Gundam TCG." And I was like, "Oh, dude, that's awesome." And I kind of like commented on this thing. Lo and behold, I also got invited to the world premiere event for the Gundam card game. It's going to be in Houston, Texas and get this, I think this is really, really funny and cool. The Johnson Space Center. It's at the NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, which makes sense for Gundam.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
And so it's kind of like an invite only preview into the game. It's like me and a handful of other content creators, and I know some other content creators already who have been invited as well, like my buddy Cosmic and another guy, the good friend of mine, Aspira TCG. Both of them cover a lot of Bandai card games. So I accepted it, and I'm going to be going to this world premiere event for the Gundam card game in December.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my Arsenal step. I'm really excited for it. It seems cool, and probably going to get, or not probably, they're definitely said, quote, exclusive goodie bags will be provided for all attendees. So I'm going to get a bunch of random Gundam swag. So
Nice.
That's sweet.
I did have to say on the RSVP, there's standard stuff, all those kind of things, like your name and what your YouTube or what's your creator channel? Are you going to be making a video? Blah 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 blah. And then it was also like, what's your T-shirt size and what's your favorite Gundam series? And I was like, well, I'm XL and Gundam Wing, but I do like a couple other ones as well. I'm familiar with like Unicorn and G Gundam and a few other ones, but I'm excited for it, and it'll be like the first mecha style TCG that I cover on Red Zone Rogue if I end up covering it quite a bit, and it'll also be the first Bandai TCG that I cover quite a bit on Red Zone Rogue. To be honest, I mostly do like Bushiroad and like more indie stuff. So that's my
really
choice.
cool. That's a really cool opportunity. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah. How about you, Az?
My Arsenal step has basically alluded to it a little bit earlier on, but I discovered Tabletop Simulator for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
Nice.
So, and holy hell, there's like every single board game that I ever wanted to get to the table is on there.
Yeah.
There's no setup. It just loads itself in every time you want to play something. Warhammer's on there. Age of Sigmar. Spearhead is on there. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. Like you get to play any board game you want that you haven't been able to maybe get up because it takes half an hour to set up, or and I can't believe I always knew about it because it's been around for ages, but I've never really had the sort of motivation to sort of learn how to use it, and I've even sort of imported my own assets into it to test things and stuff. So it's a great tool for building games, playing games, and just a sandbox really for everything tabletop. Flesh and Blood's on there, but if I'm going to play Flesh and Blood online, it's going to be webcam based stuff, but it's on there. There's loads of stuff on there. So yeah, just really enjoying it. Playing a lot of Warhammer on there just because it's easy to test out like different armies and stuff without having to buy all the models and stuff. So that's quite cool and fun. So yeah, just really loving that at the moment. Wasting a lot of time on it. Not wasting, but using.
Right. Hey, it's not wasting if you're having fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the main way that people played Flesh and Blood online before Talishar actually came out was Tabletop Simulator. So hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I've been very stubbornly I wouldn't say opposed to it, but I was just like, I'm not playing Flesh and Blood on Tabletop Simulator, period.
No.
And I haven't had a reason to buy it otherwise. I'm not against Tabletop Simulator. I think playing it for like Warhammer and stuff is actually pretty sweet.
I would recommend getting it just for that, because that's literally me and my mate have been doing it, and I'm thinking of doing streamed Tabletop Simulator Age of Sigmar stuff because it's so much fun. So I'd recommend getting it just for that. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting it just for that. But yeah, I was also in that same boat as well, like old man shouting at clouds. Like I don't want to play tabletop games on a virtual simulator. I want to play them in person. Where
that's
I
the whole
can.
point. Yeah.
But then you meet all these people from around the world that you want to play these games with, but you can't because you're in different time zones, different locations, and that is a great way of doing it. It also allows you to play those games that you might not necessarily be able to get to the table in your own play group or whatever. So I can see the pros to it now, rather than just being, no, I don't want to conform to digital, all this. But yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe if you end up doing these more playing with the Age of Sigmar, maybe you can convince me to give it a shot. The other thing for me with it is, like, unlike actual like video games, like actually good, well-made video games, there's no real like good way to match into players that you don't know. Like, it's much better if you like have friends already to play with, and for Warhammer I don't really, without like reaching out to people in my community, which I'm sure there's several people in the community who would probably want to play, but
also on that regard as well, because I'm in Vince Pleasant Kenobi's Discord. I'm in there. He's doing a Spearhead. So I think it was the reason, he was the reason why I did this, really, because he said he's hosting a Age of Sigmar Tabletop Simulator League for Spearhead. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's my jumping on point then. I want to get involved with this, just so I want to learn to play. So I'm playing in that league that he's running. So I might even be playing him in one round, who knows. But yeah, that was ultimately my gateway to it, was the league that he's organising, which I'm going to be playing in. So that'll be fun. But yeah, definitely recommend it to anyone. After 10 years it's being out now, you probably all heard about it already, and you're probably just thinking, Az, you're an idiot for not knowing it already. But there we go. But yeah, it's good fun.
Well, all right. Well,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna wrap up this episode here. Thank you all for watching. As always, I have been Kel, also known as Red Zone Rogue. You can find me everywhere at Red Zone Rogue. Mostly, if you want to talk to me or whatever, it's usually Twitter or sometimes on my Facebook and in my official Discord channel, the Rogues Gallery Discord. Pretty active in there. We have a pretty active community. We talk about a lot of stuff. Just basically nerdy things in general. The only requisite is you have to not be a jerk. So it's a good place, requisite. Really chill place. Everyone's welcome. Just don't be a jerk. That's the only it's the only thing.
Dang it.
Crap.
If you play like Pokemon TCG, if you play Yu-Gi-Oh, if you play any other game, you're welcome in. But like I said, the only requisite is like gotta be nice. But that's me. And I'll toss it over to, we're going to opposite this time. We'll go as where can everyone find you?
Yeah, definitely. I'll do an outro this time because I forgot last time.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't do an outro? No, I didn't. Oh no.
That was funny.
So I'm Go Again Gaming on YouTube. Going to be doing more variety content on there very soon. The League That Means Nothing is still going to be the main sort of flesh and blood stuff, so that's still going to continue with that season 3 coming very, very soon, season 2 wrapping up very shortly, and then on the socials it's Go Again Gaming AZ for my personal one, and then Team Turd Fab for the team, the Turd team, which you're going to see more of definitely going forward. That's
You should either make your own or commission a like theme song for Team Turd.
Yeah.
And make it like death metal or screamo. I want to hear someone scream Team Turd. Team Turd.
Team Turd.
Team Turd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. I could do that. Anyway, that's where you can find me as well. So, yeah.
All right, and then Bill, where can everyone find you?
Hello, I'm Bill from the Spike Feeders and from the Living Legends podcast. You can find me on YouTube at the Spike Feeders Fab, where we do live edited gameplay content. We're still in a little bit of a drought, just still need to get some stuff together, but we do have a backlog of videos if you're interested in that. They are live edited gameplay content videos where we do something called the Goliath Gauntlet. It is quite a bit of fun. You can also find me on Twitter and social media in general. At BillTSF. I post very infrequently, but when I do post, in my opinion, they are bangers. So you should follow me.
And you're obviously appearing in a lot of other Magic Spike Feeder stuff now as well, again, which is nice to see your face on there.
Yes. Yeah. So I do also play Magic the Gathering. That is sort of I would say the main thing that I am probably known for at this point. But yeah, we've been doing a lot of really cool stuff. If you're a Magic the Gathering player and you're not familiar with the Spike Feeders, you should go check us out. We do a lot of stuff. We kind of started out with just competitive Commander content, but we've since sort of branched into, now that we're kind of officially-ish sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. Not every video, but for select videos. We highlight the new pre-constructed decks that come out for Commander. We just finished up, I think we posted just the last one for Duskmourn recently. So if you're into Magic, you should definitely check us out.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm only subscribed to 4 Magic channels right now, and the Spike Feeders is one of them. And it's not just because Bill is my friend. So there's that. So go watch them.
Yeah, it's not just that reason.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one of the reasons, but that's not the only reason. You guys do good content, and pretty like promptly, I will say too. It's like pretty darn close to around release date for new stuff. So if you're excited about new Magic stuff, especially Commander, you should definitely check it out. I feel like some of the other channels who do Commander stuff will make videos, but it'll take them a little bit longer. But if you want like the cutting edge type stuff, you'll get like your Commander gameplay pretty quickly. If I remember right, for Duskmourn, you guys did like the pre-cons, and then immediately after you did like your own takes on it, or some variation of that order, which is cool.
Yeah, we did. Let's see how many videos we did. How many times did we spam people? For just Duskmourn, we posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos in the course of 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
all
lot.
gameplay content. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun. So you should definitely check us out.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And that has been us at the Living Legends podcast. Thank you all for watching and or listening. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers here. We're already, past 500, but we're going to be working up to 1,000. So Az can wear some underwear on his head for an episode.
That's right.
And then, or go ahead and follow us on your podcast platform of choice, Spotify or whatever. Leave us a good old review, and we appreciate it. And yeah, that's that. Thanks so much. We appreciate you.
Oh yeah.
Cheers, folks.
Have a great day, everybody.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Yes, lovely. What's that then?
Sweet.
Right.
Good episode.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I got a jet. But yeah, good chat today, folks.
Yeah,
and
Good stuff.
hello.
Hello. How's it going?
How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, mate. All good? All good?
Yeah, I'm doing all right today. It was a pretty decent day at work. I got some new glasses, but these are not them. I'm I'm wearing the old ones because, as much as I like these ones, they might be a little bit distracting with this light.
Oh, yeah.
They're silver, so they're really reflective.
Oh, yeah. It's like you got pure that mirror effect in the glasses where it just keeps going and
Yeah.
going and going and going. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like whoa.
Wow.
So, yeah, Cal, I got some new glasses, but I'm wearing the old ones so that you don't have to
Nice.
stare at this the entire time.
That's something I need to do. I need to get new glasses at some point. I have a backup pair because these ones look fine from the outset. When you really inspect them, it's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's basically how mine were too. There's a Canadian sort of version of like Zenny Optical called Kits, and it's based out of BC. And they're pretty cheap. I got a new pair of glasses plus sunglasses in the new frames, both prescription for like it was $127 after tax and shipping Canadian.
Right.
So in USD, that's like $93 for two
Ooh,
pairs of
pretty good.
glasses.
yeah. There's a
And
place.
in Great British pounds, 71 pounds.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like many years ago when I first moved back to Oregon, I got my new glasses. I got glasses then, and they kind of a similar thing. There's a place here called America's Best, and they have a deal for like 2 pairs of glasses for $120, which is very good for glasses here in the States. Like prescription glasses. So I got this one, and I have another pair that I have a backup, but I don't like them as much. They don't have the black rims, and they're not rectangular. They're more kind of like hipster looking. They're like these big big like hipster glasses. And I actually bring them to all of like when I travel, just in case these break. I always have a backup pair.
Yeah.
So I've never had to use them, but I should get some new glasses at some point.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. I should have had a backup pair of glasses. Now I do. I like woke up one day and realized like, hey, these glasses are super cheap. I could just have a bunch of copies of glass or a bunch of pairs of glasses because I have a healthcare spending account through work, so I can like it's like $500 or $1,000 depending on however much I spend. So it's like I could just get like 3 or 4 more pairs and just have them lying around. And it's like free.
That's the way to go. Robin has like a really nice, really like pretty pair of glasses that has like this dark blue chrome kind of thing that changes a little bit based on the light, and I don't know. But she got it through her work as well. She got it through insurance, so yeah.
It's the worst thing ever when you're at an event or something, and obviously you're reading cards all day, and it varies in lighting, and you forget your glasses, which I've done on multiple occasions because I don't really have prescriptions. It's just like reading glasses. or in
Oh,
front
okay.
in
Yeah.
front of the computer glasses.
Oh,
But yeah, it's always a pain in the ass when I forget them. I'm just like, oh, I can't
Yeah.
concentrate.
oh yeah. I can't see shit without my glasses. My
Yeah.
eyesight's not as bad as Robin's or my dad's. They both have way worse eyesight than I do because I've tried on their glasses before and it's like, oh, it hurts my eyes.
God, yeah.
But yeah, I can't see shit. Like I have a calendar maybe like 5-ish feet away from where I'm sitting right now. And I can't, like, the only reason I know that says Blue Exorcist on it is because I know that it already says Blue Exorcist on it. It's a anime calendar that I got from AX this year for free in one of the tote bags. I just kind of like tacked it up, but I couldn't read it if I didn't already know what it said. So yeah, it's not good.
Like I'm maybe 2.5 feet ish, like probably less than that. I'm really bad at like estimating distances, but I think I'm probably about 2 feet away from my monitors. If I take off my glasses, I could read like our Discord conversation if I like tried. If I was like, if I started squinting,
fuck no.
yeah, like
no way.
my prescription isn't even that bad. I'm like a -2. It like that's reading glasses territory. You can get -2 reading glasses, but like, I don't know. I'm so nearsighted though. Like I can like barely read if I don't have my glasses on. It's weird.
Oh, see, I'm what do you call it? Farsighted. I can not see far, but after a certain, when it gets to a certain, maybe like this far is when it's in focus. Like I can see everything perfectly, but everything else is blurry as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm technically supposed to take off my glasses when I read and when I look at the computer or whatever, but I've never done that my entire life. So and I will say my eyes have not gotten worse. Between my old glasses and when I got the new ones was like a 10-15 year gap, and they were like, well, it's almost the same prescription, and I'm like, cool. So there's that at least. All right, well, Bill, I know, has to leave in about an hour-ish, so we can probably start. Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording. Yeah, so the whole glasses speak could just stay in maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. I don't know how much we were swearing during that, but